If you're a real estate professional and you've been wanting to start your real estate coaching business, but maybe you don't know where to start, maybe you think it's gonna take you too much time, I'm here to tell you that you found the right video, and I'm gonna teach you 6 simple steps to help you get started and do this to the tune of $250,000 and maybe even more in year 1. Okay, so let's jump into this. First of all, my name's Kyle, and I did start a real estate education business during 2019. Year 1 made about $60,000, and that was actually because I started at the end of 2019. I started pretty much right in the middle of COVID. Year 2, $250,000, and then year 3, we basically doubled that. Sold in year 4. Not gonna get into the reasons why right now, but it was really just a personal reason. And I wanna share all this with you because I started in one of the toughest times to start an education business, which was in 2020 when the whole world shut down, when everyone said, I need to either get out of what I'm doing or go do something different. But I do know that real estate is way too volatile, and I don't wanna get into that right now because who knows what's gonna happen in the market. And I was still able to be successful and to start a real estate coaching business. So if you're wondering like, is now the right time, or maybe I don't have enough time, I'm just gonna tell you right now, these are the limitations that I went through. So if I didn't have those limitations, I think about what I could have done, but I was still able to build a really successful business, and you can too. And to answer that question right now, is it the right time? As I make this video in 2025, this industry is already a multi-billion-dollar industry, but this is set to be a trillion-dollar industry in the next 10 years. And that's up to you if you want to be a part of that opportunity. And one of the things that also makes this a really great time, it's going to sound like it's backwards. Everyone is trying to become a coach right now. Why is that actually an opportunity for you rather than a limitation because of the competition? Well, because there's a lot of what I call real estate chameleons out there. Real estate education chameleons specifically. What I mean by that is just basically they aren't who they appear to be. They're taking pictures in front of their friend's helicopter. They're going and renting out a Lamborghini and calling it their own. They're attracting you to the material things and the material success. And that's fine if that gets you going. That's not me. You're not, this is my kitchen. We have a 14-foot kitchen island. That's about the coolest thing that I own. But for me, like, I want you to be in this for the right reasons. If you're in it for the material success, by all means, go for it, but you're just probably not gonna jive with me. If you're in it for impact, if you're in it for helping other people, then you're in it for the long run, and for that reason, you're going to win. And that's why the timing is so great. With so many different people out there that are doing this the wrong way, they're really gonna be a passing ship in the night. And if you're in it for the right reasons, then people are going to see that because they're gonna see that you're continuing to post content, no matter if you have tons of clients or just a few clients. When they also see real results from people that you've helped out, they know it's not just a scam. They know it's not a scheme. The people, I'm gonna tell you right now, the people that are showing you all that stuff in Instagram ads and taking those pictures in front of the airplanes and throwing out cash and everything, like, my first question to them is, where are your testimonials? Where are your students? I don't care what you own. I care what your students own. I care what your students have done. And that's why I'm starting this. That's also why I started my first education company, was because I saw a need. People were DMing me. People were asking me, hey, how do you do this? How do you do that? And if that sounds like you too, then you're in a really good opportunity, a really opportune spot. Even if no one has reached out to you, but you know you have something really specific, you know you have a niche that you can help someone in, if you just start putting content out there, I'm telling you, people will start DMing you. They will start asking questions. And that's why I've started this. I go back to, my dad was an entrepreneur. My mom was a teacher. I got both those traits. I love teaching. If I find something really good that really works, I want to tell everyone about it, but I also don't want to work for someone else, just like my dad. So I kind of got the best of both worlds there. And that's why I share this, because my passion is to help. It is to give you actual results. And I've seen that along the way. And as I continue to build this channel, you're going to start to see more and more people that are having success, because I know with 100% confidence that what I do works. It worked for me. It's worked for a few others. One example is my good friend Lame Kenny. He was able to have an $80,000 launch in his first 10 days of becoming a real estate coach. Never had done it before. And then within the first basically 15 months, he was able to go on to do around $300,000 of revenue. So that gives you an example of exactly why I named this video what I did. Become a real estate coach, make $250,000 in as early as year 1. That's the biggest thing that I tell you, is if you jive with me, if you like what I'm teaching, keep on listening, watching, whatever you want to do, however you digest content. But if you want something else, if you want the material success, if you want all the cars, the boats, the planes, all that, then maybe someone else is better for you. Without further ado though, I would like to get to the reason why you clicked on this video and show you the 6 steps, the 6 simple steps of how to start your real estate coaching business today. Bam! Okay, here we go. Number one, and we are going to niche down. Niche. And I'm not just talking about niching in regards to wholesaling or flipping or storage facilities. What is the niche within the niche? Good example right here. I am a coach for real estate coaches starting their real estate coaching business. That is very specific. Very specific. I'm not coaching just anyone. I'm not just coaching any real estate coach. I'm coaching real estate coaches that are just starting their coaching business. For that reason, I am a big fish in a small pool. I'm not a small fish in a big ocean. Why? Because when someone goes to that pool, they're looking for an authority. Think about this for a second. Would you go with the person who is a coach and has tons and tons of clients, tons of testimonials, or would you go with the person who is a coach within your industry and maybe has a ton of testimonials, or maybe has a little bit less testimonials, but they are specifically doing what you are going to be coaching? So when you think about yours, for example, get into wholesaling and automate your business through AI and virtual assistants. Boom, there's your niche. Storage facilities. Operating mom and pop shop for storage facilities, under 100 units. Operating massive storage facilities, over 1,000 units. Niching down into what specifically are you doing? Now, when I was doing the actual education company that I ended up selling, I was doing Airbnb without owning the property, plus helping you to be able to develop that into $20,000 to $30,000 a month by only working 3 to 5 hours per week. So I wasn't teaching people how to operate in their business. I was teaching people how to operate on it, how to grow their clientele. And that specifically, if someone said, hey, I only want to run one Airbnb, I want to own it, I want to manage it myself, how do I do that? I'm not the person for them. But that person that said, hey, I'm looking to leave my job and I need to make $10,000 a month and I don't have a bunch of money set aside, well, I was able to help them, that type of person, to be able to get into this business and show them exactly how to create that cash flow and automate the process so they can have more time with their families, more time doing the things that they love. That was the type of person that was helping. So niche down. The second thing about that is make sure you research what your niche is, and is anyone else doing it? If the answer to that is yes, that's a great answer. And you might be saying, wait, what? It's a good thing that other people are doing what I'm doing? And yes, the answer is absolutely yes, that because if other people are doing it, you have proof of concept. Someone is already doing it. And let me ask you this, your news station, is it the only news station in your market? Maybe you like the CBS channel, maybe you like the Fox channel, maybe you like the ABC channel. Whatever that is, there's a number of different channels there, and you are attracted to one. I don't watch the news, but maybe you're attracted to one because of the personalities, because of the way they deliver the news, because of their spin on the news, because of what time it's at. All of these things are exactly why people will fall in love with you. They'll fall in love with your personality, they'll fall in love with your process, they'll fall in love with how you teach differently than that other person. Me personally, I'm not going to hire a coach if I don't like their personality and like the way that they teach. So there's an opportunity for you to say, hey, I'm gonna be myself. I'm gonna come at it with exactly who I am, how I teach, how I coach, and the right people will follow me because they'll see that I'm being true to myself and they like exactly that type of person to help them. So this is niching down. Number two, though, is your avatar. Your avatar is who you want to fall in love with, who you want to talk to. I literally want you to think about your avatar as the person that you are talking to. If you're talking into a mic, if you're talking into a camera, if you're writing a blog, you are doing those things for your exact avatar. Your avatar should be very specific. It should be the person that you were. Honestly, it's going to probably be the person that you were when you got into real estate. Go back to that first moment. Maybe you were doing another job. Maybe you were looking for a different way to be able to create more time freedom within the real estate industry, and you were dealing with all of these issues. Maybe you didn't have time with your family. Maybe you didn't have enough income. Maybe you just didn't feel like you understood anything about running a real estate business, but you walked into that room, you heard that one thing. Maybe you were listening to a podcast or a YouTube video, a lot like this one, and you said, that's it. That's what's going to help me be able to accomplish what I want to accomplish, and then your life changed from there. That's exactly who I want you to think of when you go and you create your avatar. And then you're gonna literally write this down. And actually what I want you to do is I want you to do this exercise that I'm about to give you, and I want you to get really, really bold, and I want you to put down in the comments once you're done doing this exactly who your avatar is. I want you to write 4 or 5, maybe 6 sentences about them, and I want you to have a name for them. I want you to have an age for them. I want you to have whether they're single or whether they're married. Do they have any kids? What kind of job do they have? It doesn't have to be as specific as, oh, they're a civil engineer. It should just be top income producing industry. Or maybe they're not. Maybe they're in the opposite industry. What are they doing on their day-to-day? Are they going to work? Are they logging in from home? home? Are they tired and exhausted and just the leftover energy is with their kids at the end of the day and they feel like they're not giving their best? This is all the stuff that you're going to put in your avatar, and then you're also going to provide what your solution is for that person. Here is my avatar. My avatar's name is Adam. This is literally my avatar when I had my Airbnb business. My avatar's name is Adam. He's 29 years old. He's married with 2 kids. He goes to and from work every single day. He doesn't enjoy his job, mainly because it keeps him away from his kids. But on his way there and on his way back, he's listening to podcasts. He's listening to real estate podcasts specifically, sometimes YouTube videos. And he's thinking to himself, I know that real estate is the way to get into it, but I don't have money. I don't have a ton of time, and I definitely don't have the knowledge. And I'm just at this point completely analysis paralysis of which route to go. Should I go wholesaling? Should I become an agent? Should I go flipping? And I'm exhausted from the lack of clarity in what decision to make. But Adam doesn't know about the opportunity that I provide for him, which is how to get into real estate without owning the properties. You don't need a ton of time. You don't need hardly any of your own money. And even if you do need a little bit of money, it's not much. And it helps you to be able to create cash flow without having any of the risk of owning the real estate. And it can help him to leave his job and be home with his kids, be home with his family, just like he wants. This took one take. I didn't take any more takes than that. I want you to know this just took one take for me to tell you my avatar. Why? Because I know who that is. I spoke to Adam, my avatar, through my camera for 4 straight years, and I knew him like the back of my hand. So everything that I created, every bit of content I created was in regards to how can I help Adam get past this issue that he has with his job he doesn't like anymore and getting home to be a family man. You need to do the same thing. You need to write that down. You need to take 5, 6, 7 minutes. Heck, go ahead and just ask ChatGPT and tell them to spit it out for you for all I care. All I know is that if you don't have your avatar, you don't know who you're speaking to. Number 2 about the avatar, I'm getting really in depth here. I hope that you're getting a ton of value from this. Your positioning statement. Who do you help? How do you help them? And what's their transformation going to be? I help blank do blank so that they can blank. I help people who no longer love their jobs to get into real estate without any money and without owning the properties so that they can leave their job and come home. Now, why is this good for you to have? Well, a couple reasons. Number 1, it's just good for you to know, because anytime you think about who do I help and how do I help them, well, when you have that on your brain, in your mind, you know exactly what your goal is and who you're attracting. Number 2 is that you're at the family party, you're at the family barbecue, you're at your neighbor's barbecue. Someone meets you for the first time and they say, what do you do? Well, here's what I do. I help people who no longer love their jobs to get into real estate without the properties so that they can leave their job and come home to their family. Boom! Wow, that sounds like my friend who hates his job and been wanting to get into real estate. Would that have turned into that kind of conversation if it was just, I'm a real estate professional. Oh, okay, cool. So, how do you know Jim? Right? Like that's exactly what would have happened. And here's the thing is that most people will not do that, but you will. Number 3, free, free, and free. Why? Because we gotta. This is the deal. You want to teach people, you want to coach people, and your mindset is gonna be one of probably scarcity. But in real estate, in regards to most people in real estate investing, it's collaboration. It's if I help you, then you're gonna help me. It's that abundance mindset, right? And you wanna take that same abundance mindset to your content, which is give it away for free. And people have this innate sense that when they watch something and they say, wow, that was amazing, and all that was free, they think to themselves, if this is how good the free stuff is, what's the stuff that's paid? What's behind a paid wall? That's gonna be even better. So get in that abundance mindset and start giving away this value for free on, just start with one platform. Make this simple for yourself. Don't go and try to do this on Instagram and TikTok and start a blog and start a YouTube channel and a podcast and do all this. That's gonna overwhelm you. That's going to not produce nearly as many results as you're hoping it will. Simpler is better. Smaller in the beginning allows you to be able to really figure out your systems, figure out what you're doing so that you can then start to expand from there. What I want you to do there is take them down a journey. We want to get you through steps 4, 5, and 6 as well, but there's a video down below where I talk about the marriage wheel, the client marriage wheel. This is a customer journey that starts with free and eventually turns them into a paid client. How does that work? It's essentially 6 steps. It's just like a relationship. You start on the first date, get into an official relationship, you become engaged, you get married, and then there's the honeymoon. And that's essentially what we're going to show you is how you take your clients down this marriage path, this customer journey called the marriage wheel to be able to become a client. And next one is a lead magnet. I'm not going to spell that out because I can't do 2 things at the same time. All right, LM, lead magnet. What is a lead magnet? A lead magnet is a piece of value, a guide, a resource, a tool, a training, your time, anything of additional value that allows your ideal client to make a no-brainer decision. It's either free or extremely cheap. I'm talking like under $27 typically, so that they can continue to go down this client marriage wheel with you. You gain more and more trust as you go, and it allows them to be able to now be in your list, on your marketing email list, which is really your number one piece of gold in your entire coaching business. Because if you don't have a list and you don't have anyone to nurture, and you're just hoping that people will go from dating you to marrying you. I'm gonna give you a great example right now. As you've learned about all of this, maybe you go and you watch the other video about the client marriage wheel as well. You're going to learn that it's not just about putting out free content. It's not just about saying, hey, you wanna learn more, why don't you go ahead and download my course or sign up for my course. That doesn't work. And if it does, you're attracting the wrong kind of people, if I'm being completely honest. So you're gonna have to take them through this journey of watching and then engaging and then downloading something, and then they get invited to a consultation call, and then you get to invite them to your course or your community. And you need a software to manage all that. You need something that collects their emails. You need something that makes sales pages. You need something that allows for these email indoctrination sequences to happen without you manually going in. And it needs to be super simple so that you, a busy working real estate professional, don't have to learn a new software and learn this overnight and figure this whole thing out. And that's exactly what Go High Level is. Go High Level has been the solution for me and all of my coaching businesses for the last few years to be able to streamline all of our funnels, all of our sales pages, collect payments, get people into the right funnels, into the right indoctrination sequences, and take them down the right customer journey so that they can end up being a client and a happy client that refers other clients. I'm gonna give you not only a free 30-day trial to Go High Level, but I'm also going to give you a free training to show you how to make your first funnel. That's right. I've made a bunch of funnels on Go High Level. I wanna show you how to make your first one and how to be able to create that tool that you can now start sending out to people to get them to get on your list so you can start nurturing them and bring them into your ecosphere and eventually become a client. Download it. It's on the link down below in the description. And once again, free 30-day trial plus a free training. Do you feel that? At this point, if you're this deep in this video, you are bought in. You're taking notes. You're like, how do I do this? Okay, I gotta get a funnel. Well, where do I go get a funnel? I just gave you a free resource of one that I love, that I use all the time. By the way, it's super affordable too. Like, why would you not download that if you're actually serious about doing this business? That's how irresistible your lead magnets need to be so that you can start to foster this email list. And as your customer goes through this email campaign and you continue to drip more and more value, you continue to put out great content. Number 5, you're going to invite them to a call, a consultation call. Maybe it's through an email where they have downloaded your lead magnet. On email number 5, it says, hey, you've gotten this far, you're pretty serious, why don't we get on a call? I can help you to X, Y, and Z. This is the transformation I can help you make. On this call, as you're starting, you may not even have your offer. This is where I want to speak to you if you don't even have your offer yet. That's a great place to be in, to be taking consultation calls. That's where I got the most amount of information. I took 100 consultation calls before I ever even decided to put out a course. Now, that was a personal decision. I wouldn't say that for you. Take 10 consultation calls and then release a course. But on this call, you're gonna do market research. You're literally gonna ask these people, as you identify your ideal client, what are they struggling with? What other types of content do they watch? What's been the thing that's holding them back from getting started? What desires do they have? Do they wanna be with their family? Do they wanna travel more? What does that look like? And you're gonna literally just do market research. And for the ones that you kind of in your mind say like, yeah, I can help this person. I can absolutely give them what they're looking for. You're gonna use what I call the funny method. And I'm actually gonna put this in red right here. The funny method is as such. Hey, Stacy, so you just told me that you wanna accomplish A, B, and C, but you're struggling with X, Y, and Z. It's funny that you mentioned that because the other day was talking to my wife about how I want to help people in this kind of situation because that's where I used to be. And that's exactly what I went through. And I want to help you do that. I'm actually creating something that's going to help you do that. It's not quite ready yet. I got some I's to dot, some T's to cross, but when it's ready, would you like me to reach back out to you and tell you what that looks like? Oh yeah, thank you, Kyle. Like that would be amazing. I would love that. Cool. Putting a star next to their name. I'm coming back to them with when I've got 5 minimum, ideally 10 people that I can invite saying, hey, I know that this person is my ideal client. All 10 of these people are struggling with the same thing in some variation. All of them want the same thing in some variation. And I can teach them in a group setting, in a cohort, in a test group of just releasing my course to them. And I'm gonna literally make this so easy for them. And this is number 6. I'm going to invite them to be a part of a test group. I haven't launched my course. I haven't made my course. I haven't even decided which software I'm going to host my course on, which, by the way, I have another recommendation for you on that. If you want it, just go ahead and comment recommendation. Just go ahead and put it down below. For me, I'm going to literally invite them to something that no one else is ever going to get an invite for. So I'm going to say, hey, Stacy, 2 weeks later, I know you told me a couple weeks ago that you wanted me to reach back out when I had my offer ready to go, and I have it, and I want you to just tell me yay or nay that you want more information. But long story short, you told me that you want to be able to come back home, you want to be a full-time mom, you don't want to, be working at your 9-to-5 job anymore, and you want to do it through Airbnb, through wholesaling, through fill in the blank. I'm gonna start a test group, and this test group is gonna be the foundation of what I teach thousands of people, and you get to be a part of this test group. In this test group, we're gonna have a course, we're gonna have a community, we're gonna have X, Y, and Z, we're gonna have a lot of different things, and you're going to get it for half the price, a third of the price, whatever that is. This is eventually gonna be $7,500. I'm gonna give it to you for $2,500. It's gonna be starting on this day, it's gonna last this long, and I just think that this is perfect for you. I think this is exactly what you need to be able to get what you want. The goal for me is to get you results so that I can get a testimonial for you by the end of it so that I can help thousands of people do the same thing. Do you want to learn more about what that looks like? Yes. Great. Next steps. No. That's okay. Some things have changed. No problem. Who do you know that might be interested in that? Because I'm looking for 5 motivated people that are ready to put in the work for the next X amount of days, X amount of weeks. How do you say no to that if you actually want what I have talked to you about and what you have told me that you want out of real estate, out of this life? How do you say no? The only reason they say no is because they're just not serious about putting in the work and they don't trust themselves to actually do the work. If you invite them to be a part of the test group, it's exactly what I did to make $25,000 in my first week of releasing my offer. And from there, I had a whole group of people that were getting results. Ironically, it was right during COVID, so I had to restart with them after things kind of settled down a little bit, but I finally had some results right after that. And then I was able to take this into a little bit more of a streamlined process, an evergreen offer. And that's exactly what I want to teach you on the next video, is how to properly launch this, how to properly take people through the process of helping you make that course that is going to be sitting on your sales page for life that you can funnel people into. And I want you to click on the next video right here so that you can learn how I launched that offer, how I made that $25,000, and how I eventually turned it into a $500,000 business per year. We'll see you there.